Ask Reddit. What do people think is healthy but really isn't? Smoothies from smoothie shops. They use sorbets, ice creams, and juices with an insane amount of sugar in them. My sister worked at a smoothie shop and people would always come in after going to the gym. It's not what most people think it is. I find myself craving smoothies after the gym as my body is desperate for a sugary cold drink. And I remind myself that I'm a chubby penguin and move on. The stupid cleanses. Your body naturally gets rid of toxins and stuff. You just need to drink water. If you need to clean anything, it's your liver. Give it 6 weeks without alcohol or drugs, it'll thank you for it. Anything Dr. Oz tries to sell you. *PS. Yes, and fucking raspberries too. *Wow, thanks for the gold. Granola bars. The one I was eating daily had the nutritional value of a Snickers. Granola bars were always meant to be a portable, non-perishable and high-energy snack which is automatically going to have carbs and sugar. Reminds me of the breakfast cookie SHT people make and then they somehow decide it is healthy because it's not bacon or chocolate. I don't even understand. Popularity edit. On the topic of advertising, very few brands actually advertise as health food. They advertise to active people. And I think the effect of seeing healthy people in the advertisements is part of what gives that false sense of nutritional value. Vaginal washes on a daily basis so it smells like lavender instead of what vaginas are supposed to smell like. It's unnecessary and changes your pH down there and predisposes you to infections. Thanks for doing your part to explain this. My favorite part of this thread and others on this subject are the couple of people at the bottom of the thread without vaginas who insist they know better than women and medical professionals about how to keep the vagina and labia clean. For those of you who are confused or learning this for the first time, the vagina is self-cleaning like the eyeball. It doesn't need soap and can irritate the skin. The labia is like the skin around the eye. It needs to be clean, and there's some debate over whether a mild soap is better or whether you should just rinse the skin with cool, plain water. Now, imagine that you've an eye infection. Should you wash the eyeball with soap to keep it clean? No, that's only going to irritate the eye and make it worse. You need special medicine for an eye infection. Just like women need a special medicine for infections of the vulva and labia. What should your eyeball smell like? Lavender or summer fresh? No. It should smell like an eyeball. Skin. Maybe a bit of saltiness from natural tears. A bit like the natural oils from your hair. What should the vagina and labia smell like? Skin. A bit musky from the natural odors from hair follicles and natural secretions. A little tangy or acidic from the pH that deters unhealthy organisms from colonizing there. If there's a very fishy, bread-like, sweet or fruity, infected, or very sour smell going on down there, it's usually a sign that something's going on that needs to get checked out. And it's not because someone is a disgusting person, but because an opportunistic organism has overrun the natural defenses of the body. Fat-free food. Yeah, to make up for the loss of fat they pump it full of sugars. Vitamin water. It's stacked with ridiculous levels of sugar and no vitamins. I love that in the lawsuit against him for just this reason, their argument was something along the lines of, no reasonable person wouldn't think vitamin water is a health beverage, sure. Those stupid juicing detox programs. Your body's liver and kidneys naturally detox your body so long as you drink plenty of water. This whole notion that you are detoxing your body with juice is asinine. There's something about sitting on the toilet for the whole weekend that's really appealing to some people, though. Getting into a relationship to save, help, fix, mend someone. A lesson that people hopefully learn young. TV and movies show some messed up relationships that seem normal when you are inexperienced at dating. I see the Buffy and Angel relationship very differently as an adult compared to as a teen. Edit. The age EXP gap is a big one, but he also turned evil after they had sex, and then stalked and psychologically tortured her. Try telling someone young and in love that the person is bad news. They won't listen, but after the breakup, they would hopefully learn how to spot an asshole or cheater. The food pyramid that was popularized by the USDA is a terrible idea. A lot of people today have realized this, but many older folks still see it as the Bible of good eating. And they are very fat. The fact that it's pyramid not triangle means there's two secret sides. Dedicating your entire life to your work without an outlet separate of it. Same goes with overbearing relationships. You will begin to resent whatever you enjoy if it's the sole reason for your existence. Saw something like that second one the other day. A kid, literally 16 to 17, who was saying, "I'm scared of dying alone. How do I go about getting a GF wife?" My advice was not to worry about a GF or how you'll die in 60 years, but to get happy with himself. Get friends and a hobby or two. If they meet someone, fantastic, but if they force a relationship, it'll end up with them entirely dependent on the other person and the other person likely resenting them for putting that much responsibility on them. Cable news. People who watch it think they're better informed by watching 6 hours of news a day, when they're really just buying into the fear, anger, outrage cycle, which just feeds back into watching more of the same. Edit. Since I keep seeing the same replies over and over, a few responses. I don't have a national source I can definitively recommend for news. Some local stations can be good, but many of them are actually owned by a large media group at this point and can't be trusted blindly either. I've seen more replies than I'd care to admit which are, yay, this bias thing is terrible, this other bias thing is what you should trust. I wish I had time to point out that problem to each person, but sadly, too many people are doing that to do so individually. Please, folks, use multiple sources which don't rely on each other. If there's others, I'll add in more later. Shielding their children from every conceivable horror in the real world until they're 18 and naive as fuck. Straight up let your kids get scraped knees and watch an R-rated movie every once in a while. This was my wife. Parents shielded her from everything. Needless to say, she went a lot crazy when she got to college, bottling up their emotions so others don't have to hear it. For most people, emotions are like farts. You may struggle to find a good time and place to let them out, but if you never let them out, you'll explode. I think a lot of millennials and Gen Zers are beginning to catch on to how bad it can potentially be, but I think dedicating your life just to work is really unhealthy. I mean, fair enough if you have a job you really enjoy, but even so, if you dedicate almost every waking moment to your job, there's a problem generally. It's not a great attitude. Live to work. The vast majority of salads at restaurants, a handful of lettuce buried beneath fried chicken, cheese, and ranch dressing. It's not really fair to say things are healthy versus unhealthy. A burger is a nutritious food. You have carbs, fat, protein. But if you're eating burgers all the time, you have a problem. People like to answer these sorts of questions by saying, yogurt, with the implication that it's marketed as healthy, but actually junk. It's not the case. For example, you can eat those 80 to 100 cal cups of yogurt that have 8 to 9 grams of sugar, 10 to 15 grams of protein. I'll usually have one of these a day. Or you can eat one with 200 calories and 30 grams of sugar, and almost no protein, and have them all the time. There's a difference. Smoothies are often seen as healthy, too. But you can easily cram 1,000 plus calories into a smoothie and it feel like a light snack, but if you are careful about what you put into the smoothie it actually can be a light snack. Gluten-free food is for people allergic to gluten. It's not some dieting trick. As someone with a gluten allergy, I am grateful for ignorance on this topic. Gluten-free foods used to be hard to find. But thanks to its popularity, now most major grocery stores I go to have entire sections for gluten-free products.